game answers questions I've never even thought about asking. In fact, I think the best way to do this is to play a little Jeopardy here on Game Boy Week. Answer: the apparent result of Bowser stealing Wayne Zelinsky's Shrink Ray, I also happen to be the worst freaking Mario game ever made. What is Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy? I'll take a better game for, well, for anything. Now this surprises a lot of people. Friends, coworkers, viewers, readers, everyone seems to be shocked the first time they hear me slam this game. This is because the Super Mario franchise has given us many of the greatest games of all time, and also because the series has always been one of my personal favorites. From Super Mario Bros. 3 to Galaxy and even Sunshine, I wear my adoration for Mario proudly on my sleeve. I wear nothing for this game, and if I did, it'd be on the bottom of my shoe. But let's calm down for a second. Released in 1989, Super Mario Land was a launch title for Nintendo's groundbreaking Game Boy. It would go on to sell more than 18 million copies in its lifetime and play a critical role in the breakout success of the Game Boy. And to be honest with you, I have no idea what people were thinking. Now listen, I had a Game Boy in 1989. Well, I mean, I didn't, but my sister did. It was her big Christmas present that year, and one of the games that Sandy Claus brought her was Super Mario Land. So I played this when it was brand freaking new, and even then, I thought this game was a huge misstep for Mario. In fact, I kind of thought it was a joke. Like, the meanest joke ever. It made me stop believing in Santa Claus. Now, we can categorize this game's issues into three main problems, the first of which is the gameplay. Now, to say this is a Mario game just because it has running and jumping is kind of like saying that because it features some science, Jurassic Park is a documentary. And in truth, Super Mario Land is a Mario game in name and appearance only. And even in appearance, I mean, that resemblance is arguable. Now the gameplay, weak for a few reasons. First of all, Mario's mechanics are all wrong. He falls like a rock, and generally speaking, his momentum is very different from the NES games. You really don't feel like you're controlling Mario in this game. It's almost like some random third-rate platforming mascot dressed up like Mario. Which brings me to the game's second major problem, the aesthetics. This game doesn't play like a Mario game, but it doesn't look like one either. Familiar faces are scarce, and the settings are just completely alien. No, literally, I mean, there's a spaceship in a freaking Mario game. To say nothing of the sprites that are so absurdly small, the game actually looks stupid. I mean, it's not even ugly. At least ugly implies that the game's look might at least make sense. I can't tell if that's a Goomba or a Paramecium. Oh, and the third problem with this game, it reminds me of Doki Doki Mario, which is to say, it doesn't feel like a Mario game. It's like it's trying to be as different as possible to the point that it actually loses sight of the core Mario principles, and that's a bad thing. And frankly, so is any comparison to Doki Doki Mario. Now, despite what its defenders may tell you, it takes more than a mustache, a few platforms, and a princess to make a Mario game. It actually makes sense that this game had a whole different set of hands working on it. Different designers, a different director, even a different composer. And the perspective is definitely fresh as a result, but that Miyamoto magic, it just isn't there. And at its essence, that's why Super Mario Land feels more like a curious, if popular, misstep than a timeless Super Mario classic.